Hey, Milton,
You're a rare breed.
we need it.
Yeah.
And then you send it to me.
This is what you thought, right?
So I grew up in a small rural community.
And you are,
Right on the I did.
yeah,
I
okay.
even stopped.
I'm getting you in York, makes sense.
Yeah. So it's not flooding right now. That was like, had about this much room. Northwest Indiana.
We're ready.
Okay, it is 9 o'clock. It's the time on our schedule for our weekly business meeting. If you all stand with me, we're going to have Jim Kubiak open some prayer.
Father, thank you for today. Father, all authority comes from you. And every elected or appointed official in our government is your delegated authority. May your wisdom, righteousness, and justice flow from the deliberations and decisions of these commissioners as they serve the best interests of the people of this county, not only in this meeting, but throughout their daily interactions and work as duly elected officials.
Amen. Thank you, Jim. You can follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I don't want to draw attention to our attorney, but apparently someone has played a practical joke on him and believes that
Just part of his history.
Bill was once a movie star.
Right.
So are we gonna take fingerprints, to find out who did that?
Yeah. That wasn't me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well,
No,
I've got a few leads.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
not him.
I see.
Okay. go
Could have been
ahead.
somebody close to him.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the order of agenda as presented.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. It's public comment time. We have 3 minutes if anybody wishes to speak.
There's no one signed up.
No one signed up? Microphone.
Kevin Moore for the record. And so I just want to extend past what the pastor was saying there about you guys doing your purposefulness in the best interest of the public. And so we all know, or we should know, that it's not easy being in a hierarchy of making decisions, but hopefully that makes you more purpose to be diligent and forthright, I guess, in the sense that we have federal, state, and county laws. And hopefully you're doing your best to make sure you're legislating within them boundaries, and hopefully even deeper than that, of knowing the motive and intent as you do that.
Thank you. Okay. Dave, you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me okay?
Yeah, we got
Yep.
you.
So I just wanted to, I noticed going to be last Friday was talking about attendance by Zoom for public meetings. And
Yeah.
Commissioner Conley expressed a desire to keep that alive, if I took that right, for public participation. And I just want to encourage, it's one of the very few good things, if you could call it that came out of COVID is broadening the ability for the public to attend by Zoom. So just encouraging life. That's all I got. Dave Bowman for the record, by the way. I think I forgot to say that.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on. Consent agenda, Steve.
All right, Mr. Chairman, based on the information before us, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes. We'll go right into that's what it says. It says Milton Allerton.
Wow.
You look like Milton to me.
Yep. Milton Allerton for the record, standing in for Jason Johnson. He's the planner on this file. He's out today. This is a resolution finalizing the denial of the petition for vacation of a portion of a dedicated right-of-way labeled as end of Camp Bay Road, as shown on the submitted site plan labeled T56N R1 East and section 18. So on April 7th, 21, and then February 18th, 22, The board held a public hearing, determined the granting of the vacation was not in the public interest. Recording the resolution completes the file. So the dedicated right-of-way is located in the south half of Section 18, Township 56 North, Range 1 East.
Okay, thanks, Milton.
And Mr. Chairman, I move to approve resolution 2021-19 denying the petition for vacation of the portion of dedicated right-of-way labeled as end of Camp Bay Road as shown on the submitted site plan labeled Township 56 North, Range 1 East, Section 18, located in south half of Section 18, Township 56 North, Range 1 East, Boise Meridian, Bonner County, Idaho. Seems a little repetitive in there.
I'll second that.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment?
Yeah, can you just?
Microphone. Please.
Yes, thank you. Kevin Moore for the record. So that was a lot of words, verbiage, whatever, but for a Malay person like me, whatever, can you concise that, what that really did? Or do I need to spend more time coming up to speed?
Yes.
You're the only one in the county that probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to come up to speed on
Road
it.
vacation request and we denied it out of Camp Bay. And so this is the final paperwork for filing. That's all it is. We denied at a
It
planning
also includes, Kevin, some findings of fact and conclusions of law that were required as well and that the board did reach at that hearing. So this is just finalizing the file for recording purposes.
Because I couldn't tell which way this was leaning as per pro or con.
It's not pro or con, it's yes or no.
It's
type of
confusing because they're approving the denial.
Approving the
We're
denial.
approving, we're saying yes to the denial. Okay. Any other question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Moving along to airport. Dave Shook in person. Get out. What happened? You get lost?
Called to the office.
You heard we were going to quit Zoom.
What?
Guys, Commissioners, thank you for your time this morning. We have the opportunity to lease Shelter 3 at Priest River Airport so that the lessee can store aircraft, conduct aircraft maintenance, and other approved uses as described in the attached lease. I recommend entering into this lease.
All right, Mr. Chairman, based on the information before us, I move to enter into this lease for Shelter 3 at Priest River Airport. And that the chairman sign administratively.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? None? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Moving along, Jesse Webster, with BOCC. Let the record show that Jesse.
I came unprepared today. Jesse Webster for the record. Don't quote me on this, but I believe in 2007, we purchased this lovely building for right around $2.5 million. I guess you could say, note is coming up to where we have to make a decision. We have two options. So one of the options is we can pay off the note at $1 million by May 5th. And the other option is refinance and continue our monthly payments, which are currently $13,525. On the new schedule that we received, it looked like maybe our payments might go down a little bit. Mike can speak to that. This is kind of a joint item between the treasurer's office and the auditor's office and our office. But this is definitely a decision that the commissioners need to make, decide what we want to do as far as this building goes. Do you have anything you want to add?
Sure. If we keep
Mike Rosedale, clerk, if we keep payments the way they are with a lower interest rate, we can pay it off in half the time from where. So I would recommend we keep the full payment that we're doing right now.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Mr. Chairman, based on the information before us, I move to approve moving forward with refinancing of the administrative building through the Columbia Bank.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment?
Yeah, there's a couple things that came up early this morning. As a matter of fact, I got a call from Wally Jacobson, and which is PAC, who's the actual go-between on this thing. And he was concerned that we were dealing directly with the bank. I'm not 100% sure that PAC still has to be in this or anything else, but he had it brought forward some or some concerns?
I'm not completely sure on that. I know that Hugh Gavin has presented us with some options. As far as any official paperwork from Columbia Bank, I don't think we have that quite yet because this decision needed to be made first. I guess I would have to discuss with Wally what they foresee their role in this now as. I mean, you know,
Yeah, and
as far
I-
as a refinancing goes, I don't have the answer to that. Do you know?
And I don't either. Didn't get the phone call. until-
Yeah, so the reason for this meeting is basically, Mike Rosedale, Audit County Clerk, I could sing for you too. The reason for this meeting was just to make sure that we know what we're going to do come May 5th. That deadline is coming fast at us.
Provide direction.
As soon as we decide which way we're going to go, then we can sort out all those details and adopt it.
Thank you.
And we just need to have an official decision for directions.
Direction.
Any other question or comment? Kevin?
Kevin Moore for the record. Excuse me. So in 2007, we agreed to pay 2.5 million. And so there's 1 million left that we still owe, I guess, right?
Just under.
Yeah, just a little bit under, I think.
Okay. And so we're paying right now, I guess, because you didn't say per month, but I'm guessing it was 13,525 per month, right?
That's per month.
Okay, yeah. So does that, like you say, does that work out? You said that is cheaper to pay that out by month than to pay off the 1 million?
Well, what they said.
Because do we know what the interest rate is
It's
on?
cheaper to pay it off if we had $1 million laying around.
I see.
Yeah, we have, you know, obviously we wouldn't know the exact interest rate. We have some amortization schedules. We have two, but right now they're just scenarios. So until we get locked in on something, we won't know. I mean, yeah, so
We know what we've been paying, right?
we know what we've been paying and we know what we owe. So
So what's the interest rate we've been paying? Approximately. Never mind.
You believe it's around 4.
I think it's, yeah, it's right.
I see.
What was it, Chef?
Cheryl Hill, Bonner County Treasurer, for the record. I believe it was 4.95%. And also in 2015, it appears we made a $500,000 prepayment. And we can double check into the paperwork to see if we choose to make monthly payments, if we can also make a prepayment, if we end up with any extra money and pay it off earlier.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl. Go ahead, Kevin.
So we typically don't have 1 million in reserve in whatever term you use of.
So the way budgeting works, Kevin, is we allocate funds directly for the different departments. And we do have a reserve that's 500,000, but we keep that in reserve until we get close to the end of the year, especially with the way the economy is now, interest rate, or not interest rates, but inflation, fuel prices. And so we're reluctant to go ahead and throw that money onto that loan at this point. So
Yeah, I think that we're tasked with by the legislators or legislative body to make sure that we don't have a lot of cash on hand. That's not what they want us to do, is to gather your cash and hold it in reserve. We're supposed to be running as lean as we possibly can on the least amount of tax money that we possibly can.
Amen. Well, in the past, and excuse me for bringing up the past.
Okay, here we go. I know where this is headed.
Well, it seems like in the past, there's been years or whatever where we have been told or showed that we have X amount of dollars, and it seemed like it was probably in the millions or whatever, but excuse me.
you're confusing two things. though.
It's a revolving
There's
thing.
revenue that we bring in versus what's allocated in the budget.
Right.
So
That's already
So, yeah,
spent.
so we could write a check right now for $1 million. That wouldn't be a problem. However, it would have to come out of somebody's
Somewhere.
budget.
It's already allocated. and
Yeah, it's already
spent,
allocated.
basically.
Yeah, we can take it out of the airport.
Cheryl, did you want to say something?
I wanted to invite everyone, when we have our audit presentation, our outside auditors do a great example of where our revenues are and our overages. To say, like, we do need 6 months extra in reserves, and they explain where our reserves are. They have a graph that's just really great and easy to understand.
To add a little more depth, when we get to the end of our budget year, we still have to fund the next year's budget out of what we've got.
First quarter.
Yeah, first quarter until we get to January, because that's when we get our next revenue pop. So there's a bunch of different factors that go into how the budget works, and it's pretty complicated. But one of these days, you should come to the budget workshops, and then you can understand it.
Maybe.
And we do have, for any of you that are interested, we do have that last year's external audit electronically or hard
Yeah,
copies.
if you'd like, you can have.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great read.
Good reading.
Well, like I say, in the past, whatever, it seemed like there's been dialogue when the guy that runs the Army surplus, whatever he was.
Cornell.
Cornell, thank you. It seemed like there was some dialogue then about, hey, what are the funds that we're setting on for me to be able to finish my project? And it seemed like there was dialogue, that there was, I don't want to say what I think there was the amount, whatever that was. So it seemed like different periods of time within Broward County Commissioners where there were what I call excess funds that you were trying to keep aligned for emergencies.
Well, so back in 2017 and 2018, we trimmed a lot of the fat out of the budget and got it. This budget is about as lean as you can get it without sacrificing services. And so we don't have a lot of extra cash laying around. We don't want to have a lot of extra cash laying around because that means we've taken it from the people first and we're just sitting on it. So it doesn't give us a lot of leeway to be able to consider dumping $1 million on paying this building off as much as we'd love to be done with it. It's not there. So it makes more sense for our cash flow to continue to finance it and make payments on it. So, any other question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thanks, Jesse. Can I get that back?
Yeah, I guess you need that.
Thanks. Okay, next item is Justice Services. Ron.
Board of Commissioners, Ron
Morning,
Stoltz,
Ron.
Director of Justice Services. For the record, 2 brief items for you this morning. First one is renewal of the contract with Northern States Pest Control. It's recommended that the board approve the Northern States Pest Control Pest Management Contract for the term of 1 year, March 15th, 2022 to March 14th, 2023. At a cost of $836, that's $209 per visit for a total of 4 visits for quarterly spraying at the Bonner County Justice Services Building as approved by legal. I believe this went up approximately $8 per visit this year over last year's contract. So it did increase a little bit, but not significantly.
All right, I move to approve the Northern States contract as set forth above for a total cost $836.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment about spraying bugs? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Go ahead, Ron. Item number 2.
Item number 2 is unanticipated revenue. So we run a what we call the plant house, and basically what that is it's a wood shop that our community service officer runs and uses the kids that are doing community service to build planter boxes and picnic benches and picnic tables and those type of things. And since the beginning, that money had been going into a trust account. And as a result of this last audit, the outside auditors didn't think that was where that money should be. So Nancy contacted us and said we needed to move that money out of that because it was no longer allowable. Mike can probably speak more to that. I don't know all the ins and outs of that or the details other than that's what we were told. We needed to move it out. So we have an unanticipated amount of revenue from revenue that we generated from the plant house in the amount of $10,000. And we'd like to move that into our repairs and maintenance for buildings, fixtures and grounds in our normal budget.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
Mr. Chairman, based on the information before us, I move to approve resolution 2022-20, ordering the clerk to schedule revenue in the detention FY 2022 budget account 034-75-00-000-7430 repairs and maintenance, buildings, fixtures, grounds, in the amount of $10,000, moving that from $44,475 to $54,475. This adjustment is due to the receipt of unanticipated plant house revenue received by Justice Services.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Kevin, you can tell by your body act.
That's a new one, plant house.
Well, we've had it for a long time. It's just under the community service.
Cool. I like it.
Amen. Yeah, Kevin, off the record. So, yeah, this sounds great, trying to industrialize people that are in these positions. My concern or my question, whatever, are we well insured for accidents, whatever? Are we using power tools and all with younger kids? Are we well insured doing this?
So one thing that any community service type work that's ordered by the court, the person has to pay a 60 cents per hour that's assigned that goes into the workers' compensation insurance fund, which is the state insurance fund. So if somebody does get injured, then they're covered through that. We also usually employ a youth or two in that program. And if they are employed, then they're actually employed by the county, and the county's workers' compensation fund covers them. But in terms of power tools and those kind of things, yes, they do some power tools, but there's also age guidelines. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but our community service officer, we have them posted. And so we don't have 14-year-old, 15-year-old kids running a table saw or whatever. In fact, we don't allow any of the kids to run a table saw, but we do let them run sanders and things that don't have blades that are real sharp.
Because that was my concern. I worked in a cabinet shop and
Yeah, that's
a
a
lot of
big
times you see
concern.
people that missing thumbs or whatever working in
Yep.
cabinet shops. So, workman's comp, whatever, that's kind of after the fact. It's like if somebody loses something, it's like that's some medical.
And so is insurance. Insurance
Digital
goes after that.
revisions.
It's a liability.
Yeah.
To cover the
It should
liability.
cover the line.
But yeah, we're very much aware of that. And so, yeah, we don't allow kids to use.
And Ron's actually very proficient at sewing thumbs back on, so.
I do keep a sewing kit in my pocket.
Yeah.
And super glue.
Any other, Mike, did you have a comment?
It never hurt me at all.
Yeah. Any other question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes, and it is 9:21. And we'll go ahead and recess for 5 minutes.